Good, Chris. What's up?
Yeah, your guys' offense has obviously drawn a lot of the attention, but defensively, you're almost at the top of the country in sacks and TFLs and stuff like that. How big has that been for you guys, especially the defense getting those negative plays and put the offense behind the chains?
Yeah, I think that's been huge for us. I mean, I think our defense, we've given up some yards and we've given up a couple of big plays, especially last week. But, for the most part, we've done a great job getting off the field, and I think that begins with, creating turnovers like I just talked about a second ago, but also, the number of negative plays that we've been able to create defensively. And, we have some pretty dynamic guys on defense that can make plays. Pat Nelson has been a guy just week in, week out that has a knack for making big plays for us defensively. He's played well. Delonte Scott's played well. Rodney Clemens has played well. Brandon Stevens has played well. Just a lot of guys that have really upped their game and have done a lot of good things for us. And when you can pressure the quarterback, that makes such a difference for you. It helps you create those turnovers, but also, results in some negative plays and some sacks. And we've been fortunate to get a lot of those this year. And, it's like anything else when an offense is operating in third and long situations, they're not going to be near as efficient as they would be if they were in third and short all the time. And so, when you can create negative plays, it makes a big difference.
And you just talked about Kenneth Gainwell a second ago, but he's near the top of the country in those explosive plays. Just how dynamic has he been when you watch him and everything he can do, both running and receiving?
Yeah, we've played against some good players this year. You can go and look at guys like Jalen Rager and some real dynamic playmakers, and I mean, Gainwell's the best. I mean, he is. I mean, he's he's got a great combination of strength, elusiveness, and then speed. Most guys will have one of the three or two of the three, and very few have all three. And he can make you miss. He can run by you. He can run through you. He can catch the ball. He's physical. He's tough. He runs hard. He finishes runs. I mean, he's just a special football player. And to be as young as he is and to be this far along in his development is really, you just don't see many guys like him.
Yeah. Appreciate it, Sonny.
Okay, thanks.
Next, we'll hear from Evan Barnes with the Memphis Commercial Appeal.
Coach Dykes, I know you guys have had such a great season. This has been a great resurgence for SMU. What does it mean for you guys to be on that prime time slot facing Memphis, and just kind of your thoughts on what that can mean just for you guys as a program just to be in that spotlight?
Yeah, look, I think number one, it's good for our league. I heard the end of Ken talking a second ago, and look, this league is fighting for respect. I don't think we get probably the respect that we deserve. You just look at the teams in the league and the games week in and week out. I mean, it's just really good football, and so I think it's from that standpoint, it's important for our league. I think as far as we're concerned, it's an opportunity to establish a little bit of credibility for us. I don't know when the last time SMU had a primetime football game was, but I would imagine it's been a while. And so, those are always, opportunities to put your best foot forward and to get on people's radar. And, as coaches, we don't care too much about that kind of thing. I mean, we kind of always have a bunker mentality. All coaches do. But it's, it's good for your players. It's exciting for them. It's a chance for a lot of good football players that we have on our team, and a lot of players that Memphis has on their team, to get some national recognition, which they deserve. Because, as I said earlier, I mean, if there's a better running back in the country than Gainwell, I mean, I don't know who it is. I mean, he's, just because he is so unique in what he can do. And so, I think it'll be fun for people to have a chance to see him play and see, guys for us play like, Shane Buechele and has had a great year for us. And, and Rodney Clemens and Pat Nelson and guys like that to go out in front of a national TV audience and show everybody, what they can do.
Thank you, Coach.
Okay, thank you. Appreciate it.
Next, we'll hear from Sam Bloom with the Daily Morning News.
Hey, I was wondering if you had any word on Reggie and how he's doing.
Yeah, we'll know a little bit more probably as the week progresses. Kind of so we're not really sure right now where he's at. Haven't seen him today, but expect to see him a little bit later and kind of have a better idea of whether or not what he'll be able to do this week.
The way that it seemed like Shane maybe struggled a little bit after he went out of the game. Do you see like the way James plays and the way Reggie plays, like the fact that they're both so good can make them maybe even better? And if you lose one, it can kind of hurt just that dynamic in a sense, his ability to maybe go to the other guy.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I think that's always the case on any offense. The more weapons you have, then it makes your offense more diverse. It keeps people from doubling certain guys or in particular situations. And when you have five really good skill players playing, then that puts a tremendous amount of pressure on a defense. And when you take one out or take two out, or you have whatever the case may be, you eliminate guys, then certainly it gets easier to defend and easier to pay attention to particular players, like I said, in particular situations.
Thank you.
Okay, thanks.
We'll now hear from Billy Embody with 24/7 Sports.
Hey, Sonny. I was wondering just what your guys' thoughts are on kind of this. I mean, with Gainwell being able to run the ball, at least throughout the season so far, as well as he has, how critical is it for you guys to be able to run the ball as well and kind of chew some clock and can keep the defense fresh in this one?
Yeah, I mean, it's been critical for us really all season. When we've struggled offensively, we've struggled to run the football. And so, I think that's pretty commonplace across football teams that want to run it and can't run it. It usually means it's going to be a long night for you. So, we're going to need to do a good job running the ball. Xavier's had a great year. I've been really impressed with him. I think he's on 5 or 6 consecutive games now of 100 yards plus. And so he's been very consistent for us. And, as always, it's going to be really important for us to be able to run the ball Saturday night.
And then going off of what you kind of mentioned earlier with it kind of showcasing the conference of the ABC game, I mean, to an extent, do you guys have to also focus on keeping the guys kind of a little more level-headed in this one with all the ABC and potentially college game day stuff going on?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think you're always you're always balancing that, especially when your team or your program is not accustomed to it. The good thing is, I think for the last 4 or 5 weeks, we've gotten some attention and maybe not to this extent, but we've certainly gotten some, and our guys have grown accustomed to maybe some of the things that go along with that. But that's just part of becoming a good football program is learning how to deal with those things. And I think at times we've dealt with it well, and other times probably not as well as we would like. I think the big thing we've got to do is just make sure that we don't get uptight. You know what I mean? I think that's the biggest thing that I want to see our guys do is just play with confidence and play loose and play fast, and certainly don't play not to make a mistake. I think that's what tends to happen sometimes is you feel this external pressure and you start to play a little tentative. And our job as coaches is to make sure that doesn't happen.
All right, thank you.
Okay, thanks, Billy.
And we can take one more for Coach Sonny Dykes, please.
We'll hear from Damon Sales with Rivals.com.
Hey, good morning, Sonny. How you doing today?
Good, Damon. What's up, man?
Nothing much. I wanted to ask you about Pat Nelson, being the Defensive Player of the Week. He seems to be one of the most meticulous players on this football team, goes to work, handles business. Just the transition from safety to linebacker or linebacker to safety, however you decide to play him, what has he been like for this team throughout the regular season?
Well, Pat's one of those transfers that we got last year from Illinois. Really, he was a really productive player, at Illinois. I think was their second leading tackler maybe when he was there. And so when we got him here, we weren't quite sure what he was going to be. He's athletic enough to be a safety, but but his strength probably really is rushing the passer. And so, Kevin's done a really good job of creating a kind of a package for him and a way for him to play free and use his ability. He's got an innate ability to be able to rush the passer, but at the same time drop into coverage and do all the different things that you want an outside linebacker, strong safety, nickel, whatever he is, to do, and so his skill set's really versatile. He can do a lot of different things, but I think the biggest thing Pat's done for us is he's given us a little bit of an edge defensively. He plays really hard. He's a really tough guy, no-nonsense football player, doesn't care about hype, any of that kind of stuff. He just likes to play football, and he's brought a toughness, to our defense that I think has been important to us. And, he's a big part of the reason that we're more physical as a football program than we have been. And, he's made a huge difference in our program.
Thanks, Sonny. Appreciate it.
Okay, thank you.
Coach, thank you for your time. As always, we look forward to hearing from you once again next Monday.